Hi, Sagittarius rising sign. Here is your weekly forecast starting on the 7th of April until the 11th of April. I think you are moving from being kind of like a homebody and you are moving into more of a creative era. Maybe you have felt like you were bogged down by family or domestic duties, but now it's more about radical self-expression and having a bit of a fun. You're gonna have a lot of activation this month in your fifth house, the house of creativity, romance, kind of like a bit of a catching fire when it comes to your confidence level, and it's about rediscovering your spark. So let's call it as the creative ignition for you. Maybe you have felt a bit bored lately. Maybe you have been stuck in responsibility role and your sense of adventure has been kind of like on life support. Now, the universe is handing you kind of like the permission to be a little bit louder, to be creative, to be seen again. Maybe you are not playing safe anymore. Maybe you are going into this cycle of pure, um, risky endeavors, enjoying life again. Why? Because Mars is going to be moving into your fifth house and it's going to give you a lot more confidence to go after something that you enjoy. But also, we have got Uranus on 29 degree in the sixth house, called on the Weeping Sisters, as well as Lilith moving into the sign of Taurus as well. And all these are your sixth house, the house of health, routines, and the service that you provide. So you might reach a breaking point with a boring job, a repetitive task, or a health routine that feels like a bit of a prison. So if your job feels like a prison, maybe this Uranus is going to push you out of that prison. It's a moment of emotional release where you stop trying to be the perfect worker and start prioritizing your own freedom. So this is a great time for you to kind of like leave toxic work environments behind and potentially go towards something new. Lilith is also entering your sixth house, which is about reclaiming your body and your time. So you are deciding that you aren't just a resource for your employer, for example, or for your family. You are setting a much higher standard for how you spend your time, your energy every single day. Also, Apollo is re-entering your ninth house as well. And maybe you have got a lot more desire to travel, to learn something new. Something has been potentially felt muted since March. Maybe you had financial worries. Maybe you were not brave enough to relocate, for example. And then you might start looking at these flights again. Maybe you sign up for that master class that you have been thinking about. Maybe you are ready to hit the publish button on a blog post, a post, and so forth. It's about you kind of like getting your mojo back, and then you start becoming more visionary. With that Mars, of course, that is really much of a high voltage energy for your heart. Maybe if your love life or your hobbies felt a bit stagnant, I think this Mars is kind of the engine, and the engine is starting quite hard here. So you stop thinking about having fun and enjoying life, just simply you go after it. This is a raw creative power. So if you have got any type of artistic projects or going on a date or even just be much more physically active, this is actually a right time for that. Just a bit of a warning. Watch out for being too impulsive in romance because it can lead to argument with kids, with your romantic partners, and so forth. Try to use this fire to express yourself, not to burn through relationships, for example, in a weekend. Mercury is making the very last conjunction to Pallas Athene in your fourth house. So maybe you have been iterating on a domestic situation or a family puzzle since late February. Maybe you have been contemplating of moving, relocating, selling, buying a property, and so forth. Maybe it's a renovation. And now maybe the strategy is actually coming together. You find this out of box way to make your home life run more efficiently. Maybe this mess that has been around you or within your family, you just find a solution for it. You find solutions to or strategic ways to ground yourself as well. So Sagittarius, this really feels like that there is a work and health shift happening. Maybe it's about you breaking certain type of routines. Maybe you are trying to make room for more joy. It's about following your passion. It's about potentially feeling alive again. Those creative sparks, the muses are coming back to you, meaning that you can have a lot of new ideas, which direction you would like to go towards. But I think you should be paying attention to your gut feelings about your home situation as well. If it's telling you that, you know what, I'm not at the right place, then maybe we're going to have to come up with the solution or with a new opportunity. And maybe actually the solution is right among your family. You just need to be able to listen to them and having an open mindset. So the question for you is, are you ready to play again? Are you ready to take risks? Or you are still navigating a bit of a shift in your work life, in your home life as well? Do let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for my upcoming lunation report. It can be done on YouTube as well as on my website, because this is going to be quite a dramatic one, and I'm going to be breaking this down in depth for all 12 signs too. The lunation is taking place on the 17th of April. It's a new moon in Aries with a massive stellium in Aries, 8 planetary bodies at least. And this new moon is going to be making a conjunction to Chiron and Eris as well. And there are some other asteroids involved too. So I hope to see you there. Take care. Bye bye.